Right now at noon, a family in Carthage tries to get back on their feet after fire destroys their home.
And it's warmer and cloudier today. We'll have a look at that forecast, talk about how long these temperatures last and when the winds get gusty again coming up.
Plus, drivers in southwest Missouri will soon see the impact of an I-44 widening project.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, a Pittsburgh man has been arrested for sharing child pornography online. The arrest follows an investigation led by the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force in Wichita, Kansas, into child pornography being shared online last December. The investigation was traced to an address in Pittsburgh, and on January 21st, the Pittsburgh Police Department took over the case. Now, yesterday, officers executed the warrant at a residence on East 7th Street, collecting evidence and arresting a 32-year-old male suspect. The suspect was charged with felony sexual exploitation of a child, internet trading of child pornography, and breach of privacy. He is being held at the Crawford County Jail without bond. Also new at noon today, a semi-truck and vehicle collide, sending one woman to the hospital. The crash occurred last night near 4200 East 32nd Street in Joplin. A Toyota RAV4 had collided with the front of a tractor trailer. The Joplin Police Department says the tractor trailer was traveling west through the intersection and the Toyota was traveling east to north. The 82-year-old female driver in the Toyota was rushed Priority 1 trauma to an area hospital. The intersection remained blocked for about 6 hours. The crash is under investigation. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, our temperature is doing better today than where we were yesterday, even though we're going to have less sunshine today than what we had yesterday. We've got the south winds bringing in slightly warmer air instead of those north winds bringing in damaging wind gusts in some cases and much colder air. Going to be better. Look from downtown Pittsburgh earlier this morning. Those clouds already increasing. We're going to stay mostly cloudy as we go through the day. MoDOT camera 32nd in range light. See, we did get brief breaks in the clouds in the morning, so it's partly cloudy. And then, as I mentioned, the clouds thicken up, and then you go to mostly cloudy skies. Yesterday, below normal, same for today, by the way, as we started about 29, made it up to 46, so 10 degrees off of where we should be. And today, we're going to be considerably closer, if not just a hair above average, with those temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 50s. Take a look at Friday, though. Fantastic out there. And then we're going to cool back down for Saturday. We'll talk about that as well. Mostly cloudy skies through the evening and temperatures kind of just hovering out there, eventually falling into the mid 40s tonight, and clouds will be gradually decreasing as well. Now, the only problem we've got is after this brief break from those really gusty winds we had yesterday, winds are going to start increasing tonight, and they will be a little gustier as we head into our Friday. We'll go over those details, talk about some rain chances Saturday, and the very pleasant forecast we have for next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Well, the Carthage family is struggling to get back on their feet after losing almost everything in a house fire last month. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke with the family about their next steps.
I keep going because they all made it out.
After a devastating fire at Amber Smiley's home in Carthage that destroyed almost everything.
Everything that was on the fridge is gone. Everything from their bursts up.
She says she still remembers the feelings of shock.
There's no words to put to it. It was heartbreaking in every direction. Because those things are things that I can't replace. Those are things and memories that I can't rebuild.
It was about 3:30 in the morning when Amber and her boyfriend were in the garage. They opened the door to enter the house, and that's when they heard the fire alarm and a sound from her son she won't forget.
And he was screaming, which he's a very calm kid normally. And then we saw the smoke.
The first thing she did was make sure her 4 kids and pets made it out of the house.
There's no blankets. Toddlers were still kind of, sleepishly waking up. And it was just a cold night where we were trying to make sure that they were staying warm and comfortable.
Everyone in the house made it out alive. Amber's dealing with the aftermath of smoke inhalation, and Amber's daughter, Trinity, says their cat suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
She had some burns on her paws. All of her paws had burns on them. Her bottom one, she's still limping on one of them, but they have burns. and all of her whiskers are gone.
Amber says amid the devastation, the silver lining has been the community support she and her family received during their time of need.
School system has really stepped up. They've really helped with making sure everybody has what we needed, getting all of my school supplies for school. The community has really stepped up. They have brought in clothes for the kids.
And people calling and Facebook messages and there's still people, and we still need things that are helping the people that have just randomly prayed with me around Carthage.
And a reminder she repeats to keep moving forward.
I got this.
We got this.
Reporting in Carthage, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
We can find a link to donate to the family's GoFundMe at KOAMnewsnow.com. And if you see a social worker today, you might want to take a moment to show your appreciation because it's National Social Work Month. Now, from hospital care to homelessness, child care, and beyond, these professionals work to make a difference in our communities. And Southeast Kansas leaders take action to improve transportation safety with a new comprehensive safety action plan in the works. Now, the public was invited to share their concerns at an open house yesterday at the Cherokee County Extension office in Columbus. Officials say community input is key to making roads safer for drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, and public transit users alike. Now, next Tuesday, the task force is holding an open house in Crawford County at the Pittsburgh Public Library from 4 to 6 p.m. And MoDOT will soon kick off a 5-year widening project on Interstate 44. Now, starting Monday on the busiest stretch through Springfield. Adam Woodbray has more.
So there's going to be a lot of work, and it's a very big project for the city of Springfield.
$70 million in a little more than 2 years. That's how much time and money MoDOT is spending to revitalize the I-44 corridor here in Springfield. The goal? To widen the interstate to 6 lanes.
We're going to have single lane traffic control up, and we'll start doing our shoulder strengthening, which allows us to start shifting traffic in about a month or 2 months out.
The project will be done in 2 phases. The first is from Glenstone to Highway 65, then from Glenstone to Kansas Expressway.
We'll have all new pavement on I-44, and we're also going to be adding additional lanes in both eastbound and westbound direction.
MoDOT plans to do what work it can at night when crews will reduce traffic to 1 lane to minimize impacts on morning commuters. And there's also bridges that will be replaced, 6 of them, on National, Broadway, and Grant Avenue. And each of those roads could be closed up to 4.5 months as crews replace the bridges.
As we get into the project, we're going to be splitting traffic and moving traffic from one side to the other. So they're just going to have to use some caution, slow down, be off your phones while you're working through this work zone.
Now, as long as the project stays on schedule, it's supposed to wrap up in Springfield in May 2027. And coming up, experts warn tax season can also bring tax scam season. We'll have tips to protect yourself. And later, we're making meat lovers lasagna in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Now, for many people, tax time can be a stressful time of the year, and unfortunately, that stress can be compounded by dealing with tax scams. Now, scammers usually come in 2 forms, both posing as IRS agents. Now, one scam demands payment for back taxes. The other claims you can receive a refund just by giving some personal information.
Sort of creditor payment. So, for example, consumers have told BBB about getting text messages that say they are eligible for an economic impact payment. Just need some personal information from you and a link to click in the text message. Now, the IRS, they are never going to contact you via text message. It's so important to know that. So don't bite when you see that unsolicited IRS imposter text.
Now, we have more tips on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, CBS News has confirmed President Trump is expected to issue an executive order aimed at dissolving the Department of Education. That comes as the administration is facing pushback over new tariffs. Natalie Brand has the latest.
Oh, I'd like it to be closed immediately. Look, the Department of Education's a big con job.
For weeks, President Trump has talked about shutting down the Department of Education. CBS News has confirmed the administration is expected to issue an executive order directing newly confirmed Education Secretary Linda McMahon to start the process of dissolving the department. Lawmakers grilled McMahon on the topic during her confirmation hearing.
I am really all for the president's
mission, which is to return education to the states.
If the department is downsized, would the states and localities still receive the federal funding which they currently receive?
Yes.
McMahon also acknowledged only Congress has the power to close the department, and getting that through the Senate is unlikely.
It will be a disaster for working class families all over this country. It will mean higher property taxes.
The administration is also facing pushback over the new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. While U.S. automakers received a reprieve for a month, other industries are hoping for additional exemptions.
Nobody really wins in a trade war. It drags down the economies.
Brian Keel of the group Farmers for Free Trade says the uncertainty alone can do harm.
Farmers right now are in the process of planting or getting ready to plant their crops for the year. So they need to make planting decisions. And that's really hard to do when you don't know what your markets are going to look like.
Keel also notes Canada supplies the vast majority of potash, a key ingredient in fertilizer farmers use. Natalie Brind, CBS News, the White House.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you love lasagna, then you're going to love what we're whipping up today. Just make sure you bring your appetite.
Our temperatures will continue to warm. Unfortunately, the winds increase as well. We'll talk about that and the Saturday rain chances right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've got a pretty decent day lined up for us. We've got to deal with the clouds, but at least the winds are considerably more manageable out there. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh, not shaking around like there's a massive earthquake taking place. It's pretty steady. Now, this is, of course, from earlier this morning. Clouds already increasing. And of course, we're dealing with those mostly cloudy skies today. But I think that's a nice trade-off for the fact it's going to be warmer today and it's going to be less windy today. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, again, we'll be sticking around with those mostly cloudy skies. The skies will begin to gradually clear late this evening into the overnight. Now, unfortunately, it also means, though, our winds are going to increase as well out of the south. So as we head toward tomorrow morning, our south winds today are 5 to 10. Tonight, they'll be gusting upwards of 30. Skies will clear, but the cloud cover and that southerly wind will actually keep us a little warmer. So believe it or not, tomorrow morning, we will be starting about 20 degrees or so warmer than where we started this morning, which is a nice trade-off. That'd be above average, but hey, starting below average, we might as well get one above average start. As we go through the day, Friday rather, the winds begin to shift out of the west, and they're going to still be gusty. We're talking gusts up to 40 miles an hour will be possible. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that. And in this case, if you're on any north-south roadways, that's going to be where the bigger impact is in terms of knocking your vehicle around a little bit. But we're also going to be considerably warmer as we head through the day Friday. Now, by late Friday into Friday night, clouds will increase again. Winds will shift out of the north. Our temperatures seasonably cool as we go into Saturday morning. We're going to spend Saturday mostly cloudy, and then we'll have opportunities for some rain. Now, north of I-44, really, we're talking an isolated shower, maybe a few sprinkles. The slightly better rain chances are going to be south of I-44, as you can see on the future track, and they'll hang on through most of the day, but they don't really get much further north than, say, McDonald, Delaware counties out there, but could get some rain as we go into the late night hours and through the day, rather, on Saturday. Outside of that, though, like I said, an isolated shower, maybe some sprinkles will be possible. And then take a look at Saturday late night. Well, we're going to be cooler Saturday. We're going to be a little milder overnight Saturday into Sunday. So again, today, mid-upper 50s, so right about where we should be. Some of our southern counties might even make the low 60s, so maybe a little above normal. And the south winds, that's just a nice relief, at least for a little bit, at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, skies gradually clearing overnight tonight. Winds gradually increasing south at 15 to 25 with gusts to 30. Again, our temperatures above average, fairly mild for tonight, going into the mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, again, plentiful sunshine. A great Friday. We just have to deal with these winds shifting out of the west by the afternoon hours. 15 to 25, gusts 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. But the trade-off is this: we get temperatures at about 70 degrees for the high. So again, some upper 60s, low 70s, but right there in the middle. A little cooler again as we go into Saturday, low 50s, maybe an isolated shower. Don't forget to set your clocks forward an hour. I know we don't want to, but we need to, because if you don't, you are not going to make it to work or school or wherever you're going on Monday on time. 60, partly cloudy skies, so not only are our clocks springing forward, so are our temperatures. As we head into the start of next week, we are looking at warm and windy conditions, low 70s, maybe a few showers Wednesday and Friday, and aside from next Saturday, our temperatures very pleasant across the 4 states.
Mr. Food's up next. We'll be right back. Howard's making meat lovers lasagna in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
You know, lasagna is one of those dishes that we really love. Yet for one reason or another, we just don't make it nearly as often as we'd like. When I ask people why that is, they say, because it's too complicated. Well, guess what? It's not. And today we're going to prove that. After cooking and draining some lasagna noodles, we lay them out on a cookie sheet. While those sit for a sec, we brown a mixture of ground beef and Italian sausage, crumbling it while it cooks. Now, all we do is spread a little spaghetti sauce on the bottom of a baking dish, and the rest of it we add to our skillet. Next, we place 3 noodles over the sauce and top them with a layer of ricotta cheese that we mix with a little Parmesan, an egg, some chopped parsley, and a few spices. We blanket that with some sliced mozzarella cheese and our meat sauce. Then we repeat that 2 more times and it's ready to bake. See, I told you it was easy. The big reward comes when you cut through all the layers of the tender noodles, the meaty sauce, and the creamy cheese filling. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for what we call Meat Lovers Lasagna, so you can whip up this Italian classic anytime you want. I'm Howard with Kelly, our resident Italian in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an old world way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
And again, a pretty decent day today, closer to normal, upper 50s. Winds increase tonight into tomorrow. Out of the west tomorrow, could be gusting to 40, but sunny skies, much warmer, around 70. Cooler on Saturday, mostly cloudy, maybe a couple of isolated showers. Of course, don't forget to set your clocks forward on Sunday. Temperatures about 60, warm and windy to start the next work week, low 70s.
All right, not too bad.
Sounds great.
Yeah, Dow, what do you have for us later on?
Lots coming up today at 5. For starters, new research shows women might be more likely to suffer from long COVID than men. As we mark 5 years since the COVID-19 virus swept the world, we're going to take a look at what treatment for the virus looks like now. Plus, it's the first Thursday of 2025. We're going to visit downtown Joplin as they prepare to kick off the season with an art walk. And the city of Joplin renewed funding for full-time DWI officers. We take a look at why the need continues to grow. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dow, thanks. And that's the news for now. Have a great rest of your day.